Captain's Log Supplemental.
Hey Jeremy, you know those race cars you're busy building?
Yeah, I do. I
You,
got one that I'm looking at every day.
you know what I don't see you working on?
You don't see me working on the amazing Sentinel system yet.
That's true. It would take all of 10 minutes for you to have one.
And it's very quick and easy to install.
It is. It is. And we could watch you when we are not at the race with you and see how you're doing. And then we can call you up when you get out of the car and tell you everything you did wrong.
And I love that because so many years I've been driving and not been able to see what I'm doing.
I know.
And now we can.
I know. You know what I'd like to do with the video? My most favorite thing is I take the video and I load it on YouTube, and then I send it to my coach and say, look at 26 minutes and 17 seconds. Look at this one lap and tell me what I can do better. And every single time, you know what they say?
Everything.
Exactly. Precisely. So with the Sentinel system, you get instantaneous feedback plus useful feedback that unfortunately is accurate for my driving.
I think it's accurate for all of our driving.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's probably true. Yep. But you need to get one in your car, sir.
Yes, I do. And with the discount code that you're going to tell everybody, they can save 10% on this awesome system.
Yep. Trouble-free. I haven't had an issue getting video every time we've gone out with the Sentinel. It's always worked. Can't say the same for some of the other systems we've tried. So I don't know. It's on the podcast notes down there. Don't do it while you're driving, though. We like to have our listeners live. It's good.
From the great halls of their house, there are assembled three who hope to one day be the world's greatest driving heroes. Created from the cosmic legends of the universe comes our team captain, the Vision, Bill Fisher, and their soon-to-be Wonder Woman, Vicki Fisher, and our Captain Marvel and head flight trainee, Jennifer Skripchuk. Their mission: to fight injustice, share what is right and wrong, to get you out of your house and come out racing with them and serve all mankind. They are the Garage Heroes in Training Team.
Welcome to the Garage Heroes in Training Podcast. I'm going to be one of the hosts for this episode. My name is Bill. We have both Wilson sisters. Who else is hosting?
I'm Vicki.
I'm Jen.
Vicki, got to move the microphone when she says I'm Jen.
I'm Jen.
There we go. It's Jen. Just Jen's back. Ladies, we have a guest.
We do.
I do not believe Miss Vicki can place him. And especially with the camera not working, she has a very difficult time placing him.
Yep.
I think we raced first with them at GridLife NJMP.
Okay.
Where throughout the entire weekend, I got to see his bumper because I couldn't pass him because he was too damn fast. Anyway.
I put extra weight in your car that weekend. That's what happened.
Nope, that just comes above my belly. Anyway, welcome to the podcast, Isaac Rodriguez.
Thank you for having me.
Well, we try to, we were going to try to get all the people who beat us in racing on the podcast, but then we realized that we don't have that much time. But, sir, I told you we wing episode intros all the time, and sometimes I wing them but poorly. So pretend that I didn't say any of that stuff. Brief introduction for yourself. Could be professional, could be racing, could be whatever. Family.
I'm Isaac Rodriguez, up in the South Central PA area. Moved here about 20 some years ago now. Originally from New Mexico, Roswell, as well. Was born and raised. Got into racing, mostly drag racing, early teens. Right out of high school, moved to Phoenix, continued some racing there, mostly drag racing. Big street scene out there when I moved to Phoenix to go to tech school out there. So that was some fun times. Came out here, East Coast, 2000 and 3 and continued drag racing mostly, but wanted to get into other areas of the motorsports field. Friend took me to my first Hyperfest at Summit Point in, trying to say, 04, 05, where I got on, and I did an OG hyperdrive with NASA there also. Then I had a 1989 Ford Probe GT at the time, which is the little wedgie style Ford Probe.
The Mustang 3.
Correct, the Mustang 3.
Mhm.
And kind of didn't get the track bug too much then. I continued drag racing for some years and mostly bracket race. Have a few trophies for a couple second and third place. With Nopi was big back in the day also. But fast forward to about 2013, bought a Kia Optima Turbo, and I took that also, did a couple OG hyper drives on Summit, Maine, and that kind of got me hooked back into some track events and doing track with the cars. After that, wanted something smaller. That car was pretty heavy and just didn't like the way it handled. It felt like I was just throwing the car around and it just a lot of weight, you could tell. So ended up getting some smaller cars, and as you saw, one of them is my Mazda 2, 2014 Mazda 2 that you saw it. And
I only saw the rear bumper.
the
I
back
never saw the front.
So you saw the back of it. And I also have a 1990 Ford Festiva, which is what my first track car I got on. I was actually at NJMP the year prior, doing some DEs that weekend also.
With GridLife?
With GridLife, yeah.
Oh, we were there too.
Yes, yep.
Yep.
And I like the smaller, more nimble cars. They seem to be more fun.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Isaac, that was a tremendous introduction. I just want you to know that we lost the ladies after you said the word Roswell. That's all I
They're gone.
Yeah, they're
Oh no.
yeah.
Oh no.
Say it again. I have been there twice. I love Roswell.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, we've lost them. They're gone for the
They're
rest of
gone.
the episode.
Yeah,
They're-
that's true.
Awesome. I went for the UFO festival.
Yeah, that was actually this past weekend, actually, there too. Yeah. They have it every year,
Mhm.
4th of July weekend.
Anyway, you mentioned that and it just brought back a lot of fun.
You know what? She just took a left turn right there.
She'd take a left.
She
at
did.
Albuquerque,
She did. As soon as you said Roswell, she checked out just for a moment.
Yeah. Vicki politely put it on mute, and I'm like, okay, we've lost
put it
them
on
for-
Oh,
mute,
okay.
and I turned the screen because she's still, you
Yeah.
know, oh my
Okay.
gosh, Roswell.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yep. It's a very touristy town that a lot of people like to go out there and look at stuff, the museum and the festivals and such. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just funny. It was fun. It's a funny little town. Anyway.
Jen wrote into the doc. She said, "When did you come to our planet?" I believe that was her question.
Have you ever seen an alien?
Yes. Yep. Well, some of the GridLife crew,
Yeah.
they were at Mid Ohio, said, "Oh, I think we saw a UFO." I was like, "Oh, when did my homies stop by down there?"
Ah!
Yep, there was some unexplained phenomenon they took video and picture of. I was like, "Oh, my homies must have been visiting you guys over there at the track."
That's right. You got to come home every now and then. Yep.
Sure. Yep.
Indeed. So, what got you involved with GridLife?
GridLife, I have a good friend that has been going with GridLife for some time now. He started with his Festiva also some years ago when GridLife actually came to Summit Point also. And he got me interested in them and just the vibes that they have with the people and the track and the events just seem to be really chill and really welcoming to their events.
Yep, for sure.
Some of the tracks they go to have also been really fun. I did Watkins Glen in April last year.
Was that the bad weather weekend?
That's where I learned how to drive in the rain.
Yeah.
Watkins Glen is not the place I want to learn how to drive in the rain.
Yeah,
But
well, it's funny. A lot of people were telling me they were intimidated by it and such, and I had no preconstructed notion of how difficult it can be.
Mhm.
Then adding the rain in was definitely another part of the equation there for driving that track.
yeah, hopefully you
Mhm.
did not get to interrogate any of the blue bushes. I hope.
I did not. Sadly, a friend did that weekend, but I did not. Fortunately,
Well, good for you. Sorry for your friend.
yes.
So what's left to do for you? I mean, do you have any wishes or places you'd like to go yet to do?
I have a few tracks I'd like to make it out to. I am doing and a few different. I'm trying to do a few different organizational events.
Mhm.
To see I'm doing the Ultimate Streetcar Challenge is coming to Summit Point, Maine in August. I am
Mm-hmm.
signed up for that, and the GridLife Pit Race event I'm going to also in October. Um, that's just two main events that I have going on for this year. But I like to branch out and do some tracks in the South.
Mhm.
Um, a few friends go down to, I believe it's Road Atlanta
Yep.
or such that they like to go down in November and do some of the South area tracks.
Well, we having been down there that time of year, just because it's in the south does not mean it's
Doesn't
not
mean it's
cold.
good. That's true.
Right.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, those are the two main things I want to do. Just kind of try some different organizations and new tracks. I try to make it a point to get to new tracks, at least one or two a year. Hopefully, I can make it out to VIR next year. Also, would be another goal of mine.
Have you been to pit race yet?
Yes, I did. Actually, did it was GridLife Club Sprint that they
Oh,
did a couple years ago.
mm-hmm.
I did a DE with the auto interest there that weekend. That was pretty fun. A little chilly in the morning, but the day turned out pretty nice.
Yeah, that's one of our favorites. We're going to be there in 2 weeks. Next
Mhm.
week.
Oh,
Next
nice.
week. I don't know.
Good.
Soon.
Yeah, I really like the facility. The track is awesome. It's just a great place for racing and you can see a lot of the track also from up the hill there. Also, you can see a lot of the turns from up there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one of the better tracks for watching. You can see a
Yeah.
good chunk of it from what's that, Spectator Hill, I think.
Yeah, Spectator Hill. Yep. Mhm.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Mhm.
Awesome. So, Miss Vicki, your favorite question? I know.
Yeah. What do you do to psych yourself up to get on track? Do you have something I refer to it as racing philosophy. I brought it up. I'd like to term it something else. But something that amps you up or a motto that you tell yourself or advice that you always tell somebody else.
Motto basically is always try to improve from, especially if I do a track repeatedly from the last time I was there. Learn something different, try something different, see if it works, see if it doesn't. But always try to learn every chance you get when you get seat time at a place. Try to be better than last time if I was there recently. Also, is what I try to tell myself, and just always keep learning. Always keep learning and adapt.
You're never done learning.
No, that's very true. That's very true. You can always learn from somebody older, younger, different car. You can follow somebody and they'll take a different line and you try it. It may or may not work for you, but if it does work, it's a learning experience for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of learning experiences, since we went to the same GridLife events, I thought maybe we could talk a little bit about your thoughts on their HPDE events and then thoughts on their Sundae Cup event and kind of
Okay.
compare them and how they're different. And they're not that different, but they're different.
Right. So they have club weekends and then they have festival weekends. Sometimes the DE events run a little shorter or on different days on festival weekends than they do on club weekends there. But the DEs are great. You get quite a bit of seat time in your run group. If you're a beginner, entry level, intermediate, or advanced, they have a class for everybody there. They'll have instructors if you need them. Pretty much get you going and make sure you feel comfortable on the track also.
Right.
The Sundae Cup, which is what we both run, that's more of a time trial, time attack series, which they'll line us up according to our times or what they think our times may be after qualifying. They'll line us up per fastest to slowest for time. And they try to space us out as best as they can, just so we don't run into close gaps to each other, so we can have space to try to get a quick time. And in case something happens, you can point somebody by and pass somebody as needed.
Yeah, you didn't have to do that for me.
Well, I think I did. I had some shifter issues. My short throw shifter was acting up. It was keeping me from going into third gear a few times, so I had to pull in a couple times and address that.
Yeah,
I finally just took it out.
We've had that issue on that track. Actually, the last race we were at, we couldn't get into third. It
No.
It doesn't help.
It's not that we didn't get into third. It was just a little tricky to get into third.
Instead of a short word, it was more of a long conversation.
It was adventurous getting into third.
yeah. It's not the best for your lap time, though. Not the best at all.
So what is in pertaining to grid life, HPDE versus Sundae Cup, time trials versus time attack?
DE, basically you're just out there getting seat time, trying to just get acclimated. If it's your first time to the track, just get acclimated to it. Sundae Cup is it's similar. It's a time attack / time trial. So you're out there trying to get your best lap in, trying to see who's the fastest or who you're faster than as a group, as a whole. So you're out there, let's say there's 10, 12 of you, you get spaced out and you just go out there and try to get some flyers in, try to see how fast you can get your lap times down to. And then they space you accordingly for qualifying or their semifinals, or sometimes they have what's the other?
The sprint championship or something, I think it is.
Yeah, they have a certain like knockout round where you get in and then they'll just black flag you as you get knocked out by slower time.
So when we were doing Sundae Cup, we were seated next to each other, and I got to see your bumper and then watch your bumper get smaller and smaller. I don't know how your car shrunk that way, but that's a different story. Did you do you remember your times? I'm not asking you what they were, but do you remember what your times were?
Honestly, I don't remember offhand what my times were that weekend.
Okay. I think I remember, but do you know what the record was for that track for GridLife Sundae Cup? Because
no,
we were not close. I'll just give you that as a hint.
I bet we were not close. Yeah, you are correct.
not close. So
that's why we went towards the end of the pack there.
Yeah, the record, GridLife record, I looked it up before you came on. The GridLife record for that was this is B-Spec SCCA.
Okay.
A 141.2.
Oof. I'm sure we were over 2. No, more close to 2 probably.
No, we were under 2.
Under 2? Oh, okay. Okay.
But not a lot.
Not by much.
And they were close to under 140 and not by a little. So
Sure.
I think we both have a little work to do, sir.
Yes, very much so. Very much so. That's a track I'd like to get back to more frequently also.
They just repaved it.
I had a couple friends on there, and I heard you guys were on there recently too, and they say it's very, very sticky, very very nice surface area now.
It really was. Although what we did find that was happening is that people were having a hard time with their suspensions because it was so sticky.
Oh, it's overworking them now.
Yeah, that was an unexpected. There was a couple cars that have not been previously tested that were failing in their
Oh, yeah.
suspension area.
Yeah, I can imagine it's a lot of load and force on components when they get extra sticky and extra grip for longer periods of time for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, they had a few more wheel bearings and other assorted
I
things
bet
go
some ball
south.
joints and wheel bearings. I can
Yeah.
imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, there was quite a few, and I think it didn't help that it was also a warm weekend too. So that was
Yeah.
That never helps anybody.
no, it does not. It does not. So I guess how did the HPDE prepare you for the Sundae Cup? Do you think there was how did it do, and then what would you think we could do better for you or for the next people going through?
These helped me a lot, especially being in a slower car with traffic management. It's something that I've learned, especially in the Festiva. My left arm gets extra works out at every DE event. So, not that I drive in the mirrors, but I'm more conscious of my mirrors, especially on straightaways. Coming out of turns, I'll just give a little glance, make sure nobody's coming up on me fast. But it's definitely helped me on traffic management, big time. That's a big key there for doing any type of time attack, time trial. Is just if you're not up to pace, especially me, I try to stay out of people's way if I'm not going as quickly as I'd like to or could be doing. I always check my mirrors, make sure I'm not messing anybody else houses run up. So that's big. Just seat time. Seat time helps out learning the track, the car, your capabilities, and having somebody else there looking at any data that you may have just makes you that much better incrementally. Instead of just you driving by yourself, you don't really have any good feedback to go off of other than just try to go faster.
Yeah.
So what are you or are you interested in any other type of racing? Or
So
thought
I'd like to do a little bit of drifting, but I do some autocross also locally. The Harrisburg area is not far from me. It's less than an hour. So I'd like to do more autocrossing there just to get better with car control. That would help me out there a big time. And
where do you drift at?
actually, there's a couple places. My home track is Summit Point Motorsports Park, and they have three big tracks there. A smaller section called the Washington Circuit is where they do a lot of drift events. Shenandoah, they do drift events there also. There's actually an old drag strip here in Maryland, not too far from me, that has also opened up recently to drifting also. So there's a lot of venues locally for drifting events in within a couple hours at the most to me.
How is the Mazda 2 for drifting?
The Mazda 2, maybe with some lunch trays underneath it, might be pretty good for that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, unless you're going backwards, you're gonna have some trouble drifting that one.
Right, for sure.
That's gonna be a little bit of fun.
I have a few different vehicles for different things, but those two are the ones I track the most. That's for sure.
Yeah, I was torn between getting the Mazda 2 and the Fit, and then the Fit came prepared, and then we were originally going to be running it in one lap of America, and the car that we wanted to do, we couldn't get inspected. So
oh no.
And then we bought that as a backup, and then we still couldn't get it inspected. So I still haven't done one lap of America.
Oh no.
That's
That's something I'd like to do also. One lap would be a cool event to try and get to 1 year also. Yeah, it seems like a good but tiring event.
Yeah, I keep saying I want to do it, and then every time I see what they look like when they're done, I'm like,
afterwards,
do I
yeah.
want to do
I wonder if it's like a track hangover times like 10 or
Yeah,
something.
I don't know if I want that. That doesn't
Right,
sound good.
right.
It's already bad enough. So
It has been quite.
yeah, we'll get there one day. We've been paid for a couple of years. We just haven't succeeded in actually getting our tires to the tire rack, but that's okay. We'll get there. It's fun. So, sir, we thought we were going to have some fun with you
Okay.
because you kept stomping on me every single session of Sundae Cup. I thought it was only fair that I get a little even by
Okay.
subjecting you to our Fast and Furious storytime questions, which
All
have
right.
nothing to do with the movie. It's just
Okay.
it's just how we roll.
All
So,
right.
ladies, would you like to start? I'm not sure who wants to start. You're always surprised.
Do you want me to? Okay. What was your first car and what was the worst car you've ever had?
Those actually might be the same, one and the same.
Usually
it,
is.
it
Yeah,
happens.
yeah. It was a 1984 Cutlass Supreme with a V6 3.8 liter, I believe. Uh, Bought it really cheap. Unfortunately, the engine was so sludged up that it was unusable. And
Oh no.
my dad started helping me take the engine out, and we were going to have plans to do swap in a V8 and do some other things to it, which unfortunately never came to fruition. So that car, even though it was my first car, it never really got on the road. I was never able to get it roadworthy. So it was the start of, I guess, many unfinished projects going on in my life throughout the years. But yeah, that was definitely one of the worst, first and worst cars that I've had.
Sounds like it.
Right. So, what would be your dream car to start a build from?
Start a build from. I would like to build a roadster from scratch. Couple of good ideas were from the old Ford Probe KL motor that has a very, very nice exhaust note to it's a 2.5 liter Mazda V6 motor,
Mhm.
and just build a small roadster around that rear-wheel drive, something light chassis with good coilover suspension and some good tires. Uh, the body yet I haven't decided exactly how that was going to be, but that was the plan, was to build a roadster off of that motor and drivetrain.
See, I haven't done that yet. You can't yell at me for that one. She's like, that's just another project for me. Okay, so all the races and HPDs you've been to, what car would you want to switch into that you've raced against in the past, and at what track?
Well, unfortunately, it would have to be in a Miata. I've always liked to get into that chassis. Uh, I've never actually uh, drove spiritedly or on track. Just drove it on the street, but nothing too fun. But in B and C Miatas seem to be really fun on track to drive on.
Which track would you want to be at?
I think pit race would be a good track for that car. It would be elevation. You have elevation. You have some nice high speed turns, some blind corners. Yeah, I think pit race would be a really good, fun time for that.
Well, Miss Vicky's going to find out in 2 weeks, I believe. She's going to go
Okay.
there for her first time in one of those.
Right.
Okay,
Mhm.
well, keep us updated. Get me updated. I want to see
We'll do.
how
We
it feels
don't.
like
We
tracking
don't
that.
keep our racing private. It's too slow to keep it private.
I know mine is.
So, what areas of racing are you working to improve, and what area are you, generally working in the off season mostly?
Improving would be confidence in turning, just the turn in points. That's something that just takes me a while to work up to during especially a DE weekend on a newer track. Turning points, I have to build up confidence and make sure the tires, the chassis, everything feels to me confident enough to go and to turn at the speed. It just takes me a while to get up to a good speed for turning. Also, just recently, less brakes. Using less brakes. I've been slowly getting a little better at that also. It helps me carry a lot more speed into a turn and a better line because of it. I can generally get a better line coming out of the turn on some of the higher speed turns there. Just less braking also.
Especially with the deuce and everything.
Yes, it's momentum. So we just gotta try to keep as much momentum there as possible with those low horsepower vehicles, for sure.
So, in your opinion, what is the coolest car ever?
Coolest car ever.
Ever.
So I've always liked a little bit more top speed stuff. The Shelby Ultimate Aero supercar was always a favorite of mine, chassis wise, and just the drivetrain. A lot of the engineering that went into that car was always one of my favorite cars made for higher speed driving.
I don't think we've had that one yet. You get the first one on those. So I guess it's yours.
Okay.
I guess it's yours.
All right.
All right. My favorite one that's rolling through. We kind of cycle through like obsessions on these cars. So the one that's coming up right now is where did it go? Oh, there it is. What would be your ideal racing series?
Racing City. Actually, I almost got into it. Was B-Spec. I was almost signed up for the competition license school. I just didn't. I wasn't able to get a vehicle in time, a vehicle ready. I inquired about a rental. It just never really worked out in time for me to get into the schooling here locally. I've always liked that style of racing. It seems to be more a driver's race. Sure, there's some faster, a little more horsepower cars, so they have some restrictions on a couple of vehicles and certain chassis things you can do to them. But you have a variety of small, lower horsepower cars just competing and battling it out and just having a lot of fun, it seems.
Yeah, we had a prior guest on, Frank Schwartz, who rents those cars, a ton of them. So he might be somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
So, what is the most memorable car breakdown on the road or track? Yeah, this is usually a good story.
Yeah, actually, it was when I was in Phoenix. I had my 1988 Ford Festiva, and unfortunately, the fuel gauge did not work correctly on that. So I ended up running out of fuel, and the car is so light and so small that a couple of kids helped me push the car on the sidewalk a few blocks to a gas station where I was able to refill gas. But I was literally, two kids were behind me. They were pushing me on the sidewalk because the car was so small it fit and get me to a gas station.
Were they two kids or were they just small and gray?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Okay, I'm just curious. I mean,
That's what they all say.
Yeah, nanu
Awesome.
nanu.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's definitely a memorable breakdown.
So, what's your favorite track so far, and your favorite turn so far?
Oh, so I've been working on it lately. It's actually at my home track, Summit Point, Maine, and it's turn 3. It is
Spit that right out.
We
It is a
People think about it. He's like, nope.
nope. I've been working on. Yeah, I've been working on it lately. It is a uphill blind left-hand turn that'll kind of spit you out to the far right if you don't get it too well. You can go track right into a grass or a gravel pit there. But that is a very fun turn, and I'm still working on it. So I'm still trying to get it, but that's a really fun turn on that track.
All right. Jeremy, Hammond, May, Chris, Matt, other.
Jeremy.
All right. Very
Jeremy
well.
for sure.
He's one of the popular answers. I get a
Yes.
kick out of the who is the answer. That one always makes me fun.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So we know what you're kind of working on in your racing, correct? We've already kind of discussed that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So what are you really good at?
What am I really good at? Probably wrenching on a car more. I can build or just put together a car in a decent amount of time with having the parts and such like that. I can usually get a car built together fairly quickly. Um, Driving wise, just kind of uh, being open to looking in my mirrors a lot. That's mostly what I do. Just from having a slow car. That's just what I've adjusted and been used to. Driving the small cars.
He watched me fade away into the dark
Oh
past.
no.
Yeah.
No. No, you were back there. You were back there. I saw you fighting and
I,
trying to come up.
I know. I
So
didn't want you to be lonely.
I appreciate the company back there.
what is the one thing that no one knows about you that would surprise them?
Um,
Or few people know about you?
okay. Let's see. Probably maybe well, I did play a lot of musical instruments growing up, just the violin, the viola, a lot of more. And I do like a lot of sometimes I'll put some classical music on when I'm doing a DE just to have it on low, real just kind of back there in the background.
Awesome. All right. Let me see. I've got let's see, where did it go? I just had it. I could steal Jennifer's favorite one, but I'm going to let her have that one. That's
Okay.
okay. We'll do that. All right. So, what is your favorite thing to order at a track or near the track? Like, give us some. If we're at this track, this is what you want to get. This is the food.
Normally, if there's food at the track, I'll just get a grilled chicken sandwich of some sort for the most part. That seems to be a safe bet in a lot of places. Um, at Summit, Maine, there's a small cafe outside called the Railroad Side Cafe that has a lot of good subs and pizza and sandwiches that is really good to have when there's the cafe is closed also there. So those are really good spots to eat in that area.
Right. Sounds good. All right. So when we go to Summit Point, we got a hint now, Miss Vicki.
Yes, yeah. Come on out. It's a great facility for a lot of different tracks for sure.
Right. Yeah, we haven't been there. It's on the list. It just
It's
we
down the list. So.
no, it's just the list is unfortunately had to be very flexible with family stuff and car
Sure.
breakdown stuff.
Oh yeah.
So the best laid plans. We had this summer packed. It was going to be spectacular, and
Yeah, I bet you.
it did not come to fruition
not
in all
come-
in all cases. But that's okay.
Yeah. It happens sometimes.
So when you're working on your car,
Mhm.
what are some of the things that you're really good at? Do you work on the setup? Do you work on, improving the engine, suspension, anything like that?
So mainly, I just started diving into suspension setup with the help of a few other friends that are pretty good at it. Um, I normally make sure I paint mark all my fasteners. That way, in between sessions, I can go in and make sure nothing's moved, nothing's been changed on me. Um, I've been trying a couple different sway bar, no sway bar setups at different tracks just to see how different it feels with or without a sway bar at certain turns, and um, wheels and tires help. The tire grip helps, but that seems to be just more on tire compound. The engine, I haven't really done much to the engine, just a few small bolt-ons. The little air intake snorkel,
Mhm.
exhaust stuff. So it's not really much power. It's all just kind of driving style for me on that.
There's only so much we can do in Sundae Cup too. So
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
You're pretty limited on add-ons for making power on it.
So the Sunday Cup cars, they don't necessarily have to be changed, caged.
Correct.
No, because it's time. It's not wheel to wheel.
It's time trial, not wheel to wheel. So a lot of them are not caged. They're people's daily drivers also. Couple of friends, they have their Honda Fits are their daily drivers. So there's a few caged cars here and there, but for the most part, they're full interior cars for the most part.
Well,
Yes.
what cars do you mostly see out there?
Honda Fits. Honda Fits are a big one. Couple Mini Coopers. Just
Mhm.
recently, a Miata. I think it's an NA Miata.
Yeah, the 1.6.
Yep. There's actually a Mazda Protege. My friend Joe's car. He just got third in Mid Ohio. So there's a couple of uh, different cars that run. A couple older Honda Civics also can run in Sunday Cup.
Mm-hmm.
So what has tried to get into Sunday Cup and was just like, no.
So anything with forced induction, none of the vehicles can have any type of forced induction uh, in that class. So anything turbo, supercharged. Some of the mini S's are forced induction. They're not allowed.
Yeah.
Actually, one that did make it was a Subaru all-wheel drive, which was allowed. It was an older, trying to say,
Impreza, maybe?
Impreza?
I
Yeah,
think so.
yeah. Well, that was a different car that was able to make it in. But for the most part, just 25-to-1 weight to power ratio is what they try to keep it at.
Yeah, I think I was joking around with Adam one time because we had a 74 Capri, and when it was stock,
Mhm.
it was back in 74 was all Malays era cars, and
Yes, yes, all the small cars.
so the engine had like no horsepower, and when they said steel fenders, they used like battleship armor, so it was actually it fit like it was right on the edge of being a Sunday Cup car, which would have been the
Okay.
weirdest looking thing ever out there. So, but
Yeah.
we broke it.
Oh no.
So someday it'll make it back to the track.
Yeah, yeah. Get it fixed and get it out.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a fun one to try to get on there
Yeah.
for sure.
Yep, we will. We'll give it a run. All right. I don't remember your race car number, but is there a reason? What is the number? And is there a reason?
So I try to run most of the GridLife events I can run it. It is 505, which is the New Mexico area code. So I use 505
So,
for that.
so you can phone home.
Yes, so I don't forget the starting digits to phone it home. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Always got to keep them fresh in the mind.
Had to get Jennifer back involved because she was drifting off there.
Oh no,
Love
not
that.
enough over there.
Like that just it's just cool things about people, that's all.
Jen, you want your favorite question?
Sure. Where's it at?
29.
Yes, Jen's favorite question. There it is. So what is your favorite car movie or car from a movie of all time?
Hmm. So in the Back to the Future, there's actually the concept car of the Ford Probe in Back to the Future two, three,
Two,
uh,
two, I
two,
think.
two.
I think it's two.
That is actually like a prototype of the probe that came out. They kind of changed a few things. That was a pretty neat car that they had in one of the movie scenes that I thought was really cool that they incorporated in that movie.
So you're from Roswell. Your car number's 505, and you keep talking about probes.
I have two actually. I have a 89 and 90 and a 96 Ford Probe. Yeah.
Hmm. There's something. I haven't quite put it together yet, but Cartman said something about
and
this.
Nobody's ever mentioned that.
my laptop doesn't have a camera, quote unquote.
Well, I mean, maybe it does have a camera, and you just don't photograph from the planet you're from.
That there's that possibility. There's that possibility.
Mm-hmm. So, what, in your opinion, how much of racing is learned, or how much is just natural skill, in your opinion?
So yeah, I do believe there's some people that pick up on things faster or just have a little bit more natural ability to learning things or feeling things faster than others. It's probably 50-50 for me because you can always learn to be faster, to be better, uh, you just at a different rate than somebody that can do it a little quicker than you. Uh, but that's just something that I think it's more 50-50 on that for me, learning versus having just the aptitude to do it right off the bat.
All right. Well, I'll start the last lap of these. So, ladies, pick your next favorites because it's coming. We're gonna. How about we do one of our newer ones? If you had a podcast, who would you want as your first guest? And they can be alive or dead.
Alive or dead. If I had a podcast, I would probably Art and Senna would be a good one
Mhm.
to have on there to talk about techniques and different things. That would be a cool
Yeah.
person to start with there.
Yep, that would have been a good one. What do you think, Miss Vicki?
Hmm.
You got your last one?
I think I do. I know. What's that one car that got away? And do you have one?
The one car that got away.
You could be a bank robber. You could be
Uh,
could be a car you didn't get to buy.
Does it have to have wheels on it?
No.
Can it be on the ground, off the
I
ground?
mean, your saucer would count.
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
whatever you want.
All right. So 1948, Roswell, New Mexico, just north of the tip there
That was epic.
a little bit.
I'm sorry, sir. It's classified where that car
I
is.
apologize. We might have to delete that later.
That's all right. We've got security clearance. We're fine.
Okay, I appreciate it. Actually, I haven't really had one that got away. That's something that I really wanted to keep. Uh, I've had my one car the longest since 2008 or 9. So that one I've actually kept and held on to since
What did you have one that you wanted to buy that you just didn't get it because things?
there was many of those over the years for sure. Let's see. Mazda 323 GTX
Huh.
was a
Okay.
fun little car that I wanted and just was not able to acquire at the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It would have been a fun little rally car for sure.
Yeah. That would be that's missing from the resume. You could do that.
Okay.
Miss Jen, you want to wrap it up?
Sure. So, who is your favorite or was your favorite race car driver growing up?
the Unser family
Mm.
were definitely a group of a family of drivers that I always looked up to with their championship wins and driving over the years. Were always drivers I looked up to at the time. They were really big.
Yep.
Racing family growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you there. We actually had one on. We had Lonnie on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
She's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fantastic. So what's the rest of your series this summer looking like, or season looking like for you? Anything? You got pit race with GridLife.
I have, that's October. I have a pit race. August 16th through 18th, I have the Ultimate Streetcar Challenge on Summit Point, Maine. That'll be a 3-day event. I've never raced with them, so we'll see what their programming and their series is all about. I haven't had a chance to run with them before, so it'll be a new experience with them.
I have mixed feelings about doing GridLife at pit race. I love pit race. I love GridLife. It's the championship for
Time
the
of the-
season,
Oh,
and I just don't want to get in their way. You know,
Sure.
I have the same mirror disposition as you do, and
Yes,
you know,
yes.
the last thing I want to do is screw up somebody's season
Right.
championship by, you know, my little slow poke red fit there. So I don't know. I'm
Gotcha.
sure Adam will talk me into it, but
Yeah,
that's okay.
yeah.
Or maybe Adam will talk me out of it. I don't know.
Out
It
of it.
depends.
We'll see which one, right?
Whatever Adam says is
Yeah.
so anybody wants to keep up with you and your exploits on track and see how you're doing, how would they keep track of you guys?
I'm on Facebook at Isaac Rodriguez, and then Instagram SHQS89GT on Instagram. You can follow me, follow my track, my slow track events and racing there. Just come and check me out.
Well, as you know, we do follow you on Instagram,
Yes.
and we have no idea what that means. What does that mean?
Just come and spy on me, basically. I guess
Pretty much. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, we're not shy. We do that. That's fine.
Yeah.
I was like, what did he do? Like lose at a Scrabble bet or something? Had to use all
Right.
the letters or something? That's fine. All right, sir. Well, it was great having you on, and I can't wait to look at your bumper for the next time we're on track together. Maybe it'll be a pit race. You never know.
Yeah, thanks again for having me. I appreciate it. It was a fun time, and who knows? Maybe I'll be looking at your bumper.
Maybe you never know.
Yeah.
One or the other. I think I probably have a few more laps than you at pit race, but
Okay,
you
okay,
know,
you never know.
I think the skill may go towards you, but we can decide it on track.
Sounds good.
All right,
Sounds
sir.
like
It
a
was
plan.
great talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.